Hello, and welcome to my top 10 open world game list. In this fully opinion based list, I chose what I thought would be suitable for the category. Open world, sandbox, or free roam games are names for video games where the player can freely explore the world with little to no boundaries and doesn't mainly affect the main storyline at any way. I will be judging these games based on how open they are, what other things can you do aside from the storyline, how enjoyable the open world part is, and the game in general. Borderlands is a role-playing first-person shooter game that was released in 2009 followed by a sequel made in 2012. It is developed by a company called Gearbox Software. The map is not big in itself as it is divided into certain sections like a level, although you can backtrack to previous locations at any time. Borderlands takes place in a futuristic fictional area called Pandora, a planet on the edge of the galaxy. Travelers colonize the area in hopes for better life and possibly, from what they heard, vast amount of treasure and resources. Assassin's Creed itself is a pretty solid series, but we're specifically looking at Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is the sixth installment in the series and it was developed in 2013 by Ubisoft. The plot is set on a fantasized history with some real-world events. The main story is set in the 18th century Caribbean and follows an infamous pirate, Edward Kenny. Yes, a pirate. And this is where the fun part comes in. You're an assassin pirate. Think about it. You can hop around buildings with your skilled parkour abilities or take on the seas in your pirate ship with your crew. There are quite the number of side quests you can do as well. The map is fairly large with mostly water for your ocean escapades. And one last thing, you can sing with your crew. Saints Row is an open-world game made by Volition and High Voltage Software. This first Saints Row game made in 2006 and the fourth one being made in 2013. People have compared this game to be similar to GTA and have been in this very tiny rivalry over the past few years. I'm mostly going to talk about Saints Row 4 with it being the most recent one. Saints Row 4 is set 5 years after the events of Saints Row 3. After the Saints defeat a monster, their leader gets elected as president. Soon after this, an alien invasion happens. Saints Row is the least to say one very fun mess. The map is not the biggest, but there are quite a number of things to do as it is set in a very rural area. Just like Saints Row, this another very random but very fun game is Just Cause. We'll talk about the third one. Just Cause 3 is an open world game released in 2015 under the developers Avalanche Studios. The game follows a character, Rico Rodriguez, as he returns to his hometown Medici, an isolated island with tons of things to do just like any other open world game, only to have more conflict with him. See here, Medici is being ruled out by a dictator, and Rico is going to try and free his people by overthrowing the dictator. Just Cause 3's story wasn't clearly the best from the reviews. What made the game good and to be put in this list is the free roaming part. People like this game because of the open-ended gameplay, its destruction mechanics, meaning explosions everywhere, and the amount of things you can do. Minecraft is probably, if not the most open game in this list. It is made by Mojang, released in 2011. There won't be any picture of a map, as the world seems to be endless and randomly generated every time you create a new one. What puts it down here on the list is how creative this game can get. As the game has no certain goal, you have a lot of freedom and try to entertain yourself. There are a few modes this game offers. Creative. In this mode, players have access to unlimited blocks, making it available for you to create anything ranging from tiny houses to fully built cities. Survival. In this mode, is a very well written, and I tried my best to summarize it. The game is set in 1911. You follow John Marston, a past outlaw who was taken away from his family and eventually came back to his wife and son, only to find out more about his old past friends. But only 100 of them were actually. It was not a reliable way to repopulate America, and as so it was kept a secret. Your player are one of the few lucky ones to make it in the vault and out after the war. Each Fallout game has its own story, but all of them have one similar goal: survive. Mountains, forests, and a lot more for you to explore. The player follows a character named Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter known as the Witcher, who embarks on a long travel to find his wife and daughter from a group known as the Wild Hunt. Along the way, you fight various monsters and interact with other characters to complete side quests. It was critically acclaimed for its great story writing, visuals, and just overall design. Although most Elder Scrolls player might say that the Morrowind was better than Skyrim, I do prefer this title much more. Another Bethesda title, Skyrim was released in 2011 as the 5th game in the Elder Scrolls series. The game is set in a fantasized medieval style map called Skyrim, a fairly big map with lots to explore, ranging from mountains to underground caves and dungeons. The story follows a created character whose main objective is to kill Alduin, a dragon prophesied to destroy the world. The player completes quests to improve and to prepare the player's skills to battle the dragon. Bethesda kept open world tradition and allowed the players to postpone or to not do the main storyline at all, as there are also a lot of side quests that the player can do, probably my personal favorite in this list. And for our top 1 open world game, I had to give it to Grand Theft Auto, also known as GTA. Would you believe it if a game made in 2013 would still be sold like a new game in 2016? That's right, Grand Theft Auto 5, Rockstar Studios' most recent Grand Theft Auto game, is still going huge. Most of the GTA games were huge success, and GTA 5 is no exception. GTA 5's setting is in a fictional city called Los Santos, a big map with a city, a beach, the country, and much more. This is Los Santos' second appearance in a GTA game, the first one being in GTA San Andreas. The new Los Santos looks better and feels more alive than ever. You follow the 3 main protagonists that you can switch to at times, either in mission or while free roaming. Rockstar has implemented their special wanted system that, if somewhat full, will alert cops for a more exciting gameplay. Grand Theft Auto was very well acclaimed with a lot of positive feedback, and most might even argue that it is one of the best games of all time. Just after Wii Sports, GTA 5 is the 4th best-selling video game of all time with over 70 million copies sold. And that concludes my top 10 open world game list. Did you like it? Did I miss something? What do you think is the game that really made you explore it the most? Thanks for watching.